Hello, students. This is period 4 Market Revolution. Free enterprise. As the early modern era came to a close, the wealth of Europeans became visibly pronounced relative to the other civilizations of the world. Some credited colonialism and mercantilism for the rise, but others, such as Adam Smith, examined more deeply in the contributing factors of Western wealth. In doing so, Adam Smith codified a new economic system in his book, The Wealth of Nations, that would spur industrial revolution, capitalism. According to capitalist theories, the best way to promote economic growth was a wealth creation system rather than a fixed wealth system. Smith and others believed wealth could be created through cheap labor, which lowered prices, sold more products, and created more jobs. To capitalists, the government and corporations did not need to control prices, but that consumers or the market would determine the best prices and goods alone. According to Smith, competitive process was the best way to ensure the lowest prices, best goods, and meet the needs of society. This combined with strengthened financial institutions such as banks and venture capitalists or wealthy investors used for loans. Far more goods were bought, more businesses and inventions invested in, and rapid economic growth began to occur. Smith believed low production costs kept prices low for business owners, suppliers, which meant consumers, the demand, could save money and buy more. If a product was too expensive or not high enough in quality, the demand or consumers would not buy it. This would result in business owners or suppliers to either reduce the price or go out of business to competitors. The lower the prices, the more disposable income consumers had to buy other goods, which would result in more sales and economic growth. Market revolution. American business quickly adopted free enterprise. Many private businesses began to compete and grow, and greatly expanded communication and transportation. People now focused on buying and selling cheap goods rather than making it themselves, particularly as textile mills sprang up in the north, causing southern cotton cultivation to expand. Workers made goods and companies grew rich and powerful by providing for the market. Both imports and exports increased as American production and consumption of goods rose due to the increase in money supply for workers and companies. Technological improvements. Morse code and telegrams made communication much quicker and later continued by the invention of telephones. Canals connected networks of northern states and supply routes via steamboats. Railroads improved transportation and connected the nation. Roads also drastically improved transportation. These factors combined to make transportation much cheaper, quicker, and more effective, thus reducing prices and promoting sales. So we have here in 1830, there was like really no connection between the states. And then as we see with time passing, we see more and more connection with roads, railroads, and so on, connecting all the country or the East Coast first. And we see here a little bit more in detail. Cash crops. While the North flourished, creating transportation, communication networks, goods, and wealth from factories, the South stagnated. Cotton grew well in the South and it began to take over Southern farms. The South sold this cotton to the North for textiles, as well as Britain and France, but it did not promote economic growth as well as free enterprise. Southern plantations remained focused on agriculture, became rich, but decreased in comparison to the wealth and development of the North. The South also remained heavily dependent on labor of African slaves and wanted its preservation. Thank you, students.